Now in this session we shall understand some basics of bevel gears. So here you can see there are two gears, one is pinion and one is gear, and you can see that this is the axis of the gear and this is the axis of the pinion. So here we need to know the angle between the two gears. Here this is the axis of gear and this is the axis of pinion, so theta is the angle between the axis. Here you can see that this is the line of intersection. So if we assume the gear and pinion as two cones, then two cones touch each other at this line. So the angle separated between pinion and the axis is delta 1, and between gear and axis is delta 2. So together delta 1 plus delta 2, it will be theta. So the angles theta, delta 1 and delta 2 play a major role in the solving of bevel gears. So also you can see that this is a cone distance L. So if we complete this gear as a cone, then this will be the distance, cone distance L, and this is the perpendicular distance. So this is the diameter of gear and this is the diameter of pinion. They have given some relations here. So these relations are available in data handbook, no problem. The gear ratio is similar to d2 by d1 equals z2 by z1 equals n1 by n2. This is similar to spur gears. And the design of bevel gears is also similar to that of spur gears. The design is based on weaker member. First we need to identify the weaker member, and design is based on weaker member. So in bevel gears there will be straight teeth and there will be curved teeth. So in problem, if they have not specified anything about teeth, we have to consider as straight teeth. But if they have given intentionally in the problem that the teeth are curved, then we have to consider the curved teeth. So the angles, as I said, theta, delta 1, delta 2 plays major role. This is important. And they have given relations between theta, delta 2, delta 1, L. These all are present in data handbook. We can refer from data handbook. Now we shall see the simple problem on bevel gear. Two shafts intersect at right angles and connected by a pair of bevel gears of gear ratio 2.5:1. Gear ratio is I. The module for 20-degree full depth involute teeth at outer radius is 5 mm and the number of teeth on pinion is 30. They have given the module as 5 mm and the number of teeth on pinion is 30, that is Z1 is equal to 30. If 10 kilowatt of power is to be transmitted at 400 rpm of pinion and phase width is 67 mm, determine first one tangential force at mean radius, second one axial thrust on pinion, next axial thrust on gear. So here this is a simple problem. They have not asked us to design entire bevel gears. They have only asked us to find out the tangential force at mean radius, axial thrust on pinion and gear. We shall write the data now. So here they have given two shafts intersected right angles. So if the gears are at right angles, then by our basics theta is equal to 90 degree. Theta is equal to 90 degree. The gear ratio I is equal to 2.5. The module for 20 degree full depth involute. The alpha is 20 degree full depth involute at outer radius is 5 mm. Module is 5 mm. And number of teeth on pinion is 30. Number of teeth we shall take it as Z1 for pinion and Z2 for gear. 10 kilowatt of power. N1, they have given 400 rpm of pinion. It is N1 is equal to 400 rpm. And phase width is B is equal to 67 mm. Determine tangential force at mean radius, Ft. Tangential force, we shall take its suffix as M, Ftm. And axial force at pinion. Axial force we shall call it as Fa, and for pinion we shall call it as Fa1, and for axial force on gear we shall call Fa2. Before proceeding, we shall find the number of teeth on gear. They have given the number of teeth on pinion. I is equal to Z2 by Z1. 2.5 is equal to Z2 by Z1 is 30. So the value of Z2 is 30 into 2.5. 30 into 2.5 is 75. Z2 is 75. Now we shall find the diameters. Since we have a module, we can easily find the diameters. D1 is equal to mz1, and similarly D2 equals mz2. So D1 is equal to module is 5 mm and Z1 is 30. Similarly, D2 is equal to mz2. M is 5 into Z2 is 75. So D2 is equal to 75 5 is 375. Now before proceeding, we need to find the weaker member. So to find the weaker member, we shall take sigma into y, but in this problem they are not given the allowable stresses, so we shall only take the value of y. We shall judge it based on y1 and y2. Since they are not given material, considering that both the pinion and gear are made of same material, and we shall find the value of y1 and y2. So to find y1 and y2, there is one easy method. We shall employ that from now onwards. In page number 232, there is table 12.5, value of tooth form factor y. So this is easy to find out. If we have the number of teeth and the angle, we can easily find the value of y. In this problem, the number of teeth on pinion is 30 and the angle given is 20 degree full depth involute. So y1 is 0.114. y1 is 0.114, and similarly y2. For y2, the number of teeth is 75. Number of teeth is 75, and for 20 degree full depth involute 75, we shall take y2 as 0.138. y2 as 0.138. So this is from table 12.5, page number 232. So on comparing y1 and y2, it is clear that y1 is less than y2. y1 is less than y2. Therefore, design is based on pinion. Now first we shall find the value of ft. So before proceeding with ft, we shall find the value of velocity. In page number 219, you can see that the equation power is equal to ft v by 1000. So we shall take this equation 12.43a 219. This equation is equation 12.43a, page number 219. So in this question they have asked us to find tangential force at mean radius. So for this ft, we shall add ftm. So for ftm, we will add a vm. So for vm, it is pi dn by 60. Since design is based on pinion, we shall take d1 n1. So since it is mean, we shall take it as dm1 n1 by 60. For dm, we have to refer data handbook. You can see in the page number 217, there is mean diameter dm is equal to 1 minus 0.5 by k2 into d. It is 12.34 b, page number 217. Since design is based on opinion, we shall consider this as D1. For this K2, it is K2 is equal to L by B. K2 is equal to L by B. L is cone distance and B is the face width. This formula is not present in data handbook, you have to remember. So to find L, we have to take one equation. Here you can see cone distance L is equal to half of root of d1 square plus d2 square. So we shall take this equation and find out L. 12.33217. The value of L we will get as 202 mm. Now we will find the value of K2. In question they have given the value of face width as 67. Face width 67 they have given. So we shall find the value of K2. K2 is equal to L by B, 67. So the value of K2 is 3.01. Now we'll find the value of dm. Dm will find, it is 1 minus 0.5 by K2 multiplied by d1, it is 150. So dm is 125.08 mm. dm is equal to 125.08 mm. Now we can find the value of velocity Vm, mean velocity, by dm1 n1 by 60. N1 is 400 by 60. So Vm is 2.62. Here I'll add 1000. I'll convert this 125 to a meter. So Vm is 2.62 meter per second. Vm is equal to 2.62 meter per second. Now we'll find the value of mean tangential force. Ftm is equal to P1000 by Vm. The value of power is 10 kilowatt. 10 into 10 power 3 divided by Vm, 2.62. So Ftm or mean tangential force is 3816.8 Newton. We have found out the tangential force at mean radius. Next we will find axial thrust on pinion and axial thrust on gear. So for axial thrust we shall have to take the formula FA. In page number 219 you can see axial load or thrust FA is equal to FTE tan alpha sin delta. we shall take this equation. So since in question they have asked us to find axial thrust on pinion, we will call this as FA1. FA1 is equal to FTE tan alpha sin delta. So here for FA1 for pinion we shall take the delta as delta 1. The alpha is fixed, we cannot change it. The only variable which we can change is delta, it is 1. .45E, page number 219. We have to find FTE. For FTE there is a formula here. FTE is equal to FTL by L minus 0.5B. We'll take this formula 12.45A, page number 219. So we'll find FTE. So for FTE, FT we have found out 3816. 3816.8 into L is capital L. L also we have found out. L is equal to half of root d1 square plus d2 square. This is L, 202 mm. 202 divided by again L minus B. L is 202 minus L minus 0.5 B. 0.5 into B is face width 67. So FTE is 4575. 4575.63 newtons. Now I can find the axial force FA1. So for FA1 I have to find delta 1. To find delta 1 we'll take one formula from data handbook. Here you can see tan delta 1 is equal to 1 by I, 12.32A, page number 217. Tan delta 1 is equal to 1 by I. Tan delta 1 equals 1 by 2.5. So I'll take tan inverse, the value of delta 1 I'll get as 21.8 degree. Similarly we'll find delta 2. So we know that theta equals delta 1 plus delta 2. Theta is 90 degree. In question they have given 21.8 plus delta 2. So delta 2 is 68.2 degree. Now I'll find FA1. FA1 is equal to FTE 4575.63 into tan alpha, alpha is 20 degree, into sin delta 1. Sin delta 1 it is 21.8 degree. So FA1 is 154. We will get the value as 618.47 Newton. Similarly, we will find FA2. To find FA2, this will be delta 2. This will be same. Sin we will take delta 2. the value of delta 2 is 68.2 degree. So FA2 is equal to 1546.29 newtons. So in question they have asked us to find the axial force on pinion and axial force on gear. So we have found out. This is a simple problem. Next we shall take the some higher level problem.